going on? We are back, black in the building. Man, it's hot as a motherfucker, man. God damn, man, it's hot as a motherfucker out here. God damn. I swear Satan is walking around here right now. Oh, God damn. Satan must be walking around from door to door and shit. God damn, it's hot as a motherfucker, man. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas talking about. Shout out to everybody at the Court Plantation, man. Man. If you at the Court Plantation, shout out to you. If you're working outside, man, that's an extra shout out to you. God damn, it's hot as a motherfucker, man. Keep on moving, don't stop. Look at that. Shit, shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation making it do what it do. Shout out to all my suck ass niggas out there too, talking about it. Ain't no racism and I don't see color and all this sucker shit. So, you know, shout out to them motherfuckers too. Shout out to all the finessing ass niggas too out there. You know, you just get paid and they just happen to wander around you when you get paid. So shout out to those niggas too. Shout out to all my Cesare Borgia praising motherfuckers too. All these motherfuckers thinking that some nigga gonna come and get you when you die, and if you do good now, you gonna live good in the afterlife. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all better get y'all etymology dictionary. But anyway, no diss to my black religious Christians. But if y'all gonna pray to somebody, start praying to Cesare. You better start learning about Ifa, Come Dumble. You better start learning about Santaria. That's what you better learn about, because that's what I'm about to start learning about. But anyway, man, we gonna get into it, man. I really, man, I got shit to do. I got more shit to do, but shit, I'm energized. I took some motherfucking sea moss, so I'm out of this world in this bitch. But anyway, shout out to all my black businesses, man. blackandnoble.com, mixerhealth.com, my Herbs, Freedom Paper Company, and I think it's Wraither Customs. You can't see it because the glass is in green. But you can see it now, though. That shit tight. Got my name on it and shit. That shit go hard. But anyway, that shit is in green. I got the purple one over there, too. That shit tight. Got that shit straight from black business. So shout out to everybody out there, man. We about to get into it, man. We about to straight talk about the assassination of that president. You know, all my Haitians, man. I know a Haitian sister, man. Me and her was chopping it up. And I'm like, you already know who did it, right? She was just like, well, I already know. I was like, I'm just telling you. If you know anything about Jean-Jacques Dessalines or Dirty Bookman, shout out to the homegirl Erica for posting Dirty Bookman's prayer. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into that. We gonna speak on that today, and motherfuckers gonna understand exactly why that president was assassinated. I don't care what nobody said. Cut this shit down, man. So shout out to everybody out there, man. We about to get into it, man. Man, when I saw that shit, I was like, yeah, that sounds like an inside job. You know, and too, that sounds like the inside of America's vile, vicious, criminal history and their past. And you're like, what you mean by that, Warren? Look, this is what I mean by that, man. Y'all motherfuckers don't like it. Hey, what's going on, 066? Sold to the next sucker. I know I ain't did that. I'm gonna do it next time. I'm gonna do it on Sunday, man. And if you ever hear any nigga do that shit, they got that shit from me, nigga. Cause I've been saying that shit for like 2 or 3 years. But anyway, man, when you hear about the assassination of our brother, you know, our Haitian brother, first of all, when you think of other countries and people getting assassinated, I don't know a lot, but just from my reading and my history, when you're dealing with backbiting, vicious, vile, treacherous, lying, dirty, gully, gutter, satanic motherfuckers, this is what you deal with. And if you know the history of Haiti, and all I know is a little bit of history. I read this book called Before the Mayflower, and it kind of talks about the Haitian Revolution in there. It talks about Jean-Jacques. It talks about Toussaint L'Ouverture. I got the book on the Haitian Revolution too, but then Before the Mayflower, it talks about that. It talks about Denmark VC, Queen Nzinga. And then if you read Nature Knows No Color, The World's Great Men of Color by J.A. Rogers, y'all need to go cop this book right here. These are books that I actually read, by the way. That book talks about it too. It talks a lot about like the revolutionaries. And I think that's gonna be one of my next books. And it talks about that shit too. And Jean-Jacques Dessalines wasn't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And go get 1804 by our brother Tariq Nasheed. That's a great documentary. I think everybody should have it. I was telling this sister about it. I was like, you ain't never heard of 1804? And she was just like, nah. And I'm like, well, I know, you know, it's your history, whatever, but man, you need to you need to really, he did the Haitians real justice on that shit, man. He broke it down. And Dirty Bookman's prayer was cold. The nigga said, y'all need to replay. He's like, translation, these motherfuckers, God asked them to commit crimes against us. So how the fuck is we serving the same God if they God telling them to enslave us and kill us and do all this sucker shit? So why the fuck would I do that? So with that being said, Dirty Bookman was like, y'all need to replace the imagery of that God, and y'all need to put a God that look like you up there so you can know where you drawing power from. So fuck them motherfuckers. Then you got Mac and Daw. I think he was the botanist. I forgot. You can't even really find no books on Mac and Daw. It's hard to find books on him. And I think that nigga was the botanist. That nigga was the nigga that was like, yeah, we gotta kill all the coon niggas first. These niggas be the main niggas telling. Just like I talk about Hayward Shepherd all the time. You go read Black Labor, White Wealth. Hayward Shepherd was in. See, meritorious manumission. I was talking about that on my IG too. Meritorious manumission is when you tell on a nigga or you do something nice for a white person. Then they give you a little privilege. You know what I'm saying? But basically it involves telling on another nigga. And Hayward Shepherd, he got a meritorious manumission, so they let him sit on the front porch. So when the nigga sat on the front porch, he saw John Brown and them coming, because John Brown was getting ready to kill all them slave owners and them slave masters, because John Brown knew in his heart what they was doing was wrong. He knew that. That's why I don't like that shit that they got on Showtime. That's some fictional shit, and they got a boy in there dressed up as a girl. Like that's Hollywood, man. Hollywood is full of shit. Now, my question to the white Jewish community in Hollywood: let me paint a picture that is denigrating to the white Jewish community, and let's see how long the picture lasts and how long it goes. That's not gonna happen. Anytime somebody starts telling on what the fuck they doing, they either get found dead or some other shit. And another thing I'm gonna tell you too is we gotta understand, to me, this is just my personal opinion, we have to understand what battle we're fighting. We gotta understand the history. And when you know the history of the Haitians, the United States of America and every other country, they don't want to be bothered with Haiti. That's why they got the Dominicans thinking that they better than the Haitians when they on the same damn island. That's like a nigga in Las Vegas talking about, yeah, man, I don't fuck with them Henderson niggas. You can say that, but technically y'all all from Vegas. Those are subsidiaries of Las Vegas. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's what I don't get. And it's true. You know, the Dominicans, they got nappy hair just like niggas, but they don't speak Creole. They just speak Spanish. So they just think they just so far much better than the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? You meet a lot of Dominicans and they act like that sometimes. Like, you better not call them no Haitian. And it's like, but Haiti and the Haitians, especially in the 1804 revolution, them niggas wasn't no joke. Them niggas wasn't no joke. I forgot who the nigga was who was just like, there's like, you got any last words before we kill you? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back as locust. I'm gonna kill all you motherfuckers. And after that, like 15,000 white motherfuckers, white Frenchmen died because they couldn't fuck with the locusts out there in Haiti. See, them Haitians, man, they was one with nature. And see, that's why they're the poorest country in the world, and they don't want them to succeed. The powers that be don't want them to succeed. And two, you got a lot of people over here in the United States of America Incorporated that own land and wealth and resources in Haiti too. They just not talking about that shit, man. Motherfuckers better wake the fuck up, man. See, this is just my partake on it. I feel, from my perspective, that a lot of people think that Haiti is just this poor country just because they're poor, or they're a poor country because of voodoo. No, that was created by design. No, voodoo is what got them white motherfuckers up out of there. And that's why when they give you voodoo is and they got you, oh, you're gonna be a zombie, and I'm gonna blow smoke in your face, and all this bullshit to get you to be like, oh man, poke your lips out, I don't do no voodoo. That bullshit, and have you thinking like, oh man, this ain't child's play, is it? You know what I'm saying? Because when they introduce our religion and our African belief systems to us, what they do is, what I learned is, as a kid growing up, United States of America Incorporated, they vilify it. And what they do is they create this atmosphere around it where even if you think about doing it, something bad gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of atmosphere that they create for the for black folk. That's what they don't want you to go back to your African belief system. They want you to be reading that Bible and then remember the shit that's in red. That's what Jesus said now. And then when you start doing the history, like you notice a lot of black Christians, like I love my black Christians, but a lot of them, they don't want to do no history. They just want to quote straight from the Bible. And then when you start asking them, so you mean there was no civilization before that Bible? Because why is it people are doing studies and finding skulls from 20, 30,000 years ago? That Bible's 5,000 years old. So why is that? Do you know who Cesare Borgia is? You're like, why are you talking about Cesare Borgia? Here's the difference. Dirty Bookman told them, we need to replace that imagery because that we can't fuck with that. Let's fuck with some shit we know. Well, why you keep bringing up Cesare? Well, Cesare, Pope Rodrigo, if you know about the Borgias, there's a book. I don't know if the book is up here. It's called The Borgias and Their Enemies. I think it is either the Borgias and Their Enemies. And then the Borgias, first of all, the Borgias were Spaniards. They were Spaniards. That's first. Second of all, Pope Rodrigo, that motherfucker was cold. He's like, all right, paint it, paint an image of Jesus, but you just paint my son because I feel like that's what Jesus looked like. And paint Lucrezia, my daughter, because I feel like that's who Mary looks like. Lucrezia. You know what I'm saying? And all this other shit. Stop. And y'all motherfuckers want to know why the Haitians was like, nah, we not fucking with that shit. We gonna fuck with our shit, and our shit is where we draw power from. Because in their belief system, they weren't afraid to die. It was almost like the Muslims. Muslims, they're not afraid to die. So when when you lose that fear, you become, I would say, a threat to the dominant society. Straight up. And that president, that brother didn't get assassinated he got assassinated for a reason. And if you think something else, man, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. I look at a lot of this shit, and I'm like, damn, man. Do y'all know the history? A lot of people don't know the history of the Haitian Revolution. I think it went on for, what was it, 1891 to, 1791 to 1804. It was like 15 years or some shit. Yeah, that shit was a long ass time. Them motherfuckers was fighting for a long ass time, but them motherfuckers basically told Napoleon, you killed 10,000 of my men, we'll kill 20,000 of your shit. Nigga, fuck what you got going on. You come over here, you know what it's on, nigga. And that's exactly why the Haitians are, to me, the most revered African brothers and sisters, as far as, black folks that are not foundational black Americans, but identify as a black foundational American, or they just identify as black. Those are the most, they're more worried about them than they are worried about a lot of our other African brothers and sisters. And you say, what do you mean? And the reason why I say that is because when you're dealing with a group of people, a group of racial people that have defeated you once before, you don't want them linking up with foundational black Americans, because foundational black Americans, we still fight. And we know that this is some bullshit. And we know what you have done is some bullshit. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. These are things that we just gotta wake up and understand and come to an understanding. You know what I mean? You say, why, Warren? Let me tell you why. That's by design. That is by design. These are the same people. This is why I'm always look at the United States of America Incorporated. These are the same people that try to tell Gaddafi, you need to give us the gold and give us everything, or we coming in there. He like, nigga, this is my shit. That's because Gaddafi was coming up with the gold dinar that was gonna rival the dollar and the euro pound. So United States of America Incorporated, go look it up. They got together with all them other crooked white motherfuckers that was on some bullshit, that want to be in power, don't want to be overthrown. It was like, we got to get his ass up out of here. Because Libya, they got so much natural resources. He was like, well, we could just come up with the gold dinar, and that'll be our way of trading. We don't have to deal with the dollar. We don't have to deal with them. So they like, oh shit, he's threatening our infrastructure. Even though people don't understand, the dollar is worth what, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents? Inflation means it's too much money in the supply. It's too much money that's out there. That's what inflation means. When everybody has a touch of too much money, that means the money's not worth nothing. So That's what it means. And they already know, the United States of America Incorporated, they already know that the money ain't worth shit. You don't think these people already know this shit? They already know this. So it's like, it is up to us to do our due diligence, do our research, understand what the fuck is going on. Don't sit back and just laugh and act like, oh, well, don't involve me. What you need to do is start taking stock and inventory of what you see going on, and then read and study. You know what I'm saying? So you can have an understanding. When I saw that you got sense, I was like, yeah, inside job. And don't even you don't want me to tell you who I think. I don't care what, they could be like, oh, it was the Haitians. You know, they didn't want him there as a president. I don't give a fuck. I got a book. Oh God, I forgot what it's called. Economic Hitman. And it talks about how I haven't even read it. I just read like the inside cover. It talks about how they send jackals to like different countries and try to blackmail the leaders and do things to the leaders so they can kind of infiltrate that country and then put who they want in charge of the country. This is what the United States of America is responsible for doing. First of all, why do I even need to say that? All I need to do is bring up one book. J. Edgar Hoover, the cross-dressing LGBTQ LMNOP XYZ motherfucker who did not like black people. So I'm tired of you LGBTQ motherfuckers acting like y'all can't be racist. I'm talking about the white LGBTQ motherfuckers acting like they can't be racist. Stop. And trying to use whatever they claim to fame to liken their situation to black folks' situation. Man, stop. Y'all didn't build the country. Nigga. That's what I'm saying, man. We got to understand history and understand where we are aligned in it. That's why they don't ever talk about the Moors. If they started talking about the Moors when we were children, all the way until we're seniors, a lot of black folk would have a difference of opinion towards the dominant white society. But we know nothing about the Moors. We don't know that. We taught them about 5-course meals and how to bathe, how to clean up. We brung them medication and vaccinations back in the day because these motherfuckers from the Caucasus Mountains sleeping with motherfucking chickens and shit and just nasty and dirty. Don't want to bathe at all. I was reading this thing, how I think it was Christopher Columbus or somebody, yeah, it was like, yeah, you know, we like the black women. We didn't really like the white women. You know, a lot of white women, they didn't like to take showers and shit. They was nasty. I was dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? Just like George Washington, the first president, he was talking shit about white folk too. Like, he was like, I don't like indentured servitude and I don't like white slaves. And they like, why? He's like, his white slaves are fucking lazy. And they don't want to do shit and all they do is complain and try to escape. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather deal with the black folk who get the job done, of course. That's why Dr. Clyde Anderson teaches this. We are a special people. Don't forget it. Don't act like you don't know that. Any type of task you take on from the dominant society or corporate plantation, know that in your heart. You are special people. And if you can, try to migrate or navigate towards other people that look like you, that is on the same mentality as you. Don't get around other racial groups and get to catering and pandering to what the fuck they got going on because you want to be liked, man. After a while, you got to grow up and grow out of that and move aside to move ahead so you can know what you're getting yourself into, man. Straight up. Because that's all that's what counts. What are you getting yourself into? What are you trying to do with yourself, man? 2 roads diverging in Yellow Woods. I took the one less traveled. So you can't take the same road as the next person. We don't have generational wealth. We don't have a lot of that stuff. That's why when you look at the assassination of that president, you're like, man, that's got to be an inside job, man. Somebody had something to do with that shit. You can't tell me nothing different. Somebody had something to do with that. That was a part of the dominant white society in the United States of America Incorporated. Just like the Queen of England. Who made this bitch the queen? That's one. And 2, why y'all trying to act like ain't no racist shit going on? And y'all know it is. That shit's been going on. Then they tried to cover it up and act like she ain't got no power. Oh, the queen busy. Stop, nigga. They killed your mama because she was marrying and fucking with niggas. So they ain't fucking with you either, nigga. So it's like everybody got to grow up and start acting like, oh. Shit, look at tennis. Man, every time Venus or Serena say something to one of the judges, oh my God, it's some big blow up. John McEnroe was known for stopping games and doing all kinds of sucker shit during the goddamn tournament matches and shit. He'll hold up the whole fucking play arguing with the umpire because he knew he was white and he knew he could get away with it. He wasn't even that good of a tennis player either. But because he was a shit starter and talked so much shit to the fucking the judges, But he got away with it. But as soon as Serena Williams say something crazy, oh, this is a crazy black bitch right here, that type of shit. So, man, y'all motherfuckers need to wake the fuck up, understand that happened for a reason, and the reason is controlled by the dominant society. I don't care what y'all niggas say. Y'all better go do y'all reading. You can read the World's Great Men of Color by J.A. Rogers. You can read Dirty Little Secrets. You can read the Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. Man, there's all kinds of books you can read. You can read The Fall of America. You can read Destruction of Black Civilization. There's so many books that you can read that really breaks down the history of black folk on this planet before colonization and then after. If you read They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, it talks about how those Moors, that's gonna kill Christopher Columbus. Like, nigga, we're not building no boat for you, nigga. We should throw you over the water, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't know how to build no boats and he didn't know how to navigate the sea. That's why you have the Admiralty Maritime Law. But that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother thing. I'm just wanting everybody to read, do the research for yourself. Do not allow anybody around you that's a part of another racial group to tell you how you should be doing in your life, and you shouldn't worry about reparations and all that. Man, fuck them motherfuckers. The majority of those people that saying that shit are people that didn't help build this country, are probably fucking immigrants, and they're fucking freeloaders. Period. And I don't care who get mad. History shows me what the fuck it is, not some shit and some feelings that somebody's talking to me about. I remember I had to check a Latino brother one time. He was talking about, I said, but Latinos didn't build this country, my brother. Black folk did. You're benefiting off the backs of black labor. Facts. So, oh well, I'm just telling you the truth. I don't care who was born over here. If your parents did not build this country, it is what it is. You can get mad at me all day long. But guess what? That's documented history. Read Medical Apartheid. We are a special people. We were the only ones that could endure what we endured. Plus, we had melanin. So guess what? We knew how to do things like Benjamin Banneker and have photographic memory and just close his eyes and he could just build something once he take one look at it. Or you could be like Beethoven, which people, they don't know that Beethoven was black. But that's a whole nother story. There's a book called Beethoven's Hair. I'm gonna get that book too. That's in my car. Hey man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey man, y'all know what it is. You know what it ain't. 066, man. I fuck with you big time, dog. Hey man, go support black businesses. Shout out to my homegirl, Ratha Customs, LLC, man. She made these nice glides for me, man. And I like them, man. Shit, for real, man. Support black businesses because we all we got. Hey man, if you dealing with a nigga that's acting like you don't know what color he is, guilty nigga, he's a Sambo. I ain't fucking with you. Peace.